Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be doing another episode of World in Flames Collector's Edition, Days of Decision 3, Combined Game Playthrough number 2. This will be the September-October turn, and I'm thinking probably going to get through the November-December turn as well. Especially if the weather really gets bad. Things will just get shut down in China, and at that point it's just, I'll just go through the turn off board and we'll go from there. Maybe we can eat. Maybe I'll even be able to get, if I have enough time, I'll be able to get the January, February turn done as well. But we'll see. So, that being said, I had a question on the comments about the Chinese warlords. These are these counters right here. This is a warlord. It's attached to Chongqing. This is a warlord. It's attached to Chengdu. And the other one down here is Kunming, and Kunming is right under this oil counter. And there's a fourth one in Shanghai. The warlord rules are basically on page 81, I believe. It's an optional rule that you can use in the game. It's one that I am using. Warlords can appear, or they are set up with the Chinese to begin with. And as the game progresses, as the Japanese take warlord cities, they can also build warlords as well. The rules for the warlords define them as being no more than 2 hexes from the particular city that they're attached to. There's another one up here. This is a communist one at Langchao. So they can venture 2 hexes away from the city that they're supposed to belong to and go no further than that. I just wanted to quickly mention that. And now that that's out of the way, let's go take a look at starting money. Starting money for this turn is not looking good for the major powers. I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. Oops. There we go. Alright. Looks something like this. We have Germany at -2, Japan at -1, Italy at -1, the Soviet Union at -1, Commonwealth at -1, France at 0, the USA at -4, and China at -5. Now, that being said, I figured that when I started looking at political options for the major powers, that I didn't think any major power would take a political option at this point. But the game, it takes weird turns sometimes, and we actually have 5 bidding major powers, sorry. We have Japan. We have Japan bidding 1. Actually, they all bid 1 because they have no money, so all they did was bid 1. Japan, Germany, the Commonwealth, France, and Italy. So let's go over and take a look at how that's going to shake out on the political initiative. We have Japan bidding 1. They're going to get a +4 for 5. That'll put them in first position. We have Germany bidding 1. They're going to get a +3 for 4. That's going to put them in second position. We have the Commonwealth and France both bidding 1. Commonwealth bids 1, gets a +2, that's 3. France bids 1, gets a +2, that's 3. They're tied, and we'll come over here to the political effectiveness. We see that both France and the Commonwealth are at 3. Yeah, okay. Some of these counters, you try to pick them up with tweezers and they just go flying. Alright, so the Commonwealth and France are tied. And the final tie is broken by current order. So the Commonwealth will be 3rd, the French will be 4th, and the final bidding major power is Italy. They bid 1, they get a +1, that's 2. They will be 5th. So the first last card marker is on Japan, and the last card marker is on Italy. Now, the 3 major powers that didn't bid, we have the Soviet Union at +3. That'll put them in 6. The US at +1. That'll put them at 7. And China is in last position as usual. Okay, let's go take a look and see what Japan wants to do. First up is Japan, and what they want to do is sign a minor alliance with Siam. Now this is going to probably require a die roll. When we look at the modifiers for it, we get add one for the result. Add one to the result for each factory resource marker that Japan has in Siam. That is 0. Siam doesn't have any resources. So 0 for that. Add the miner's willpower. We look on the minor country chart, we see Siam. Siam's willpower is a 6. So we add the willpower, that is +6. Subtract our initiative position. Japan's initiative position is 1, so that's +5. Subtract the distance in hexes on the status display between your major powers political marker and the miners. That is, looking at the status display, that is 6 hexes. So that's going to be a -1 net to the die. That's just a die roll. Let's see what the Japanese get. Alright. Japan rolls a 6. That means the alliance will be signed. We'll be putting in... the treaty chart for this. So I will get out the treaty chart and put the modifiers out, and I will come back with Japan activating a minor. Okay, Japan is up to activate a minor, and I think the minor they're going to activate is Siam. Because we have a +9 Japan in Siam with some minuses for the democracies. Let's go over to the status display and see what's up. Alright, you can see Siam's right in the middle of the board. We have a +9 Japan, a -2 US, a -4 Commonwealth, and a -1 Soviet. Well, Siam is quite, let's see, so Siam's here, Japan's here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can get the marker right here by activating Japan first, then the US is going to drive it either here or here. It's Japan's choice, so they probably will pick this hex. Yeah, okay, we're going to do Japan first. We have 9 points. 2, 4, 6, 8, and we will lose a point. That's the way it goes. And then we will activate the US. Okay, the US is a -2. It's going to drive the marker this way because the US is over here. The capitalist ideology, or the democracy ideology. And yeah, okay, so it would cost 3 to get into either one of these hexes. And they only have 2, so that's basically not enough. It's not going to move the marker. We'll do the -1 for the Soviets. That's not going to move the marker. It costs at least 2 for a hex. Now the -4 for the Commonwealth, it's going to cost 3 to go in either of these hexes. So we'll move Siam here. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. Yep, both are 7 away. And the additional point, it's not enough to move the marker into the next part of the fascist ideology. So that point will get blown off. And the last thing we're going to do for Japan is roll to see if they end the turn. That would make everybody really happy. Whoa, that was close. We rolled 3. We'll move the marker down to Germany, and Germany's on the clock. Let's see what they're going to do. The Germans are going to do German option number 16. That is this one right here. German advisors recalled. There is a prerequisite is a major power is at war with China. Japan is at war with China. Nationalist Chinese now fight using attack weakness, and they must destroy one on-map infantry corps. So they have to destroy one on-map infantry corps. That's bad. And they have attack weakness. That's bad. Alright. That's going to cost 2 money. There's a few influences to put out for the miners. The U.S. entry is a +4, so I'll record that. And I will be right back with destroying the one Chinese infantry unit and then activating a miner. There isn't a lot of good choices for Germany to activate a miner right now. So she's decided to be, she's decided to activate Poland. And the reason why she wants to do that is she doesn't want to see the democracies get any significant influence in Poland at this point. So we're going to grab the markers. It's a very strategic decision for the Germans at this point. We're going to head over to the status display. You can see where Poland is. And let's see, we got a 2 Commonwealth. We got a -2 Soviet. And a 1 German. Okay, well, the 1 German's not going to move anything, so we're just going to get rid of that. Now, the 2 Commonwealth, okay? Poland's right here. Oops. Alright, Poland's right here. Poland, if you notice right here, in the brackets underneath the name of the miner is France and Germany. That means Poland has a treaty with both France and an alliance with both France and Germany. And what that does is it adds 1 when you're moving the marker away from a major power that's allied to the miner. So the Commonwealth's 2 points normally would move it into either this hex or this hex without a problem. But since Poland has an alliance with Germany, moving it away from Germany costs an extra point. So those 2 points are just blown off. The -2 Soviet, however, is probably going to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this 4 to Germany, they're both 4 from Germany. And I don't know, it might be further away from the French. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the -2 for the Soviets, which the Soviets are over here, would push the marker into this hex. But it's going to cost an extra 1 point because it's moving away from France. An additional hex. So the -2 for the Soviet, that's just going to get blown off as well. Last thing we're going to do is see if Germany ends the political phase. Well, not with a roll of a 10. That pretty much is going to keep things going. So let's see who's up. That would be the Commonwealth. Let's go take a look and see what the Commonwealth wants to do. Now the Commonwealth has decided that they're going to guarantee a miner. And that miner is Iraq. They're not really liking how the Soviets are sort of gobbling up Persia at this moment. So they want to keep them from gaining any additional victory hexes, because there's a victory hex in Tehran, which the Soviets are obviously going to get at some point. And if the Soviets were to move on to Iraq, there's one in Baghdad as well. So the Commonwealth kind of wants to prevent the Soviets from doing that. They think this will stop them because they know that it will give the Commonwealth casus bellum to declare war on the Soviet Union if they attack a miner that's guaranteed by another major power. So this is going to cost 1 money. It's going to, I'm going to apply the treaty chart for the miners with a -1. and half the treaty chart for U.S. entry, and I'll come back and have the Commonwealth activate a minor. The Commonwealth was deciding between two of the major powers, and I think between two of the minor countries, and I think they were looking at Portugal, but they only have 1 point in Portugal. It's really not going to do much for them. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to activate Spain. So we're going to grab the markers. We'll head over to the status display. Oh, actually Spain is way down there. So we got a 2 Commonwealth, we have a 1 Soviet, and we have a 1 German. So the 1 point Soviet and the 1 point German, not gonna do much of anything really. So they'll just get blown off. The 2 points for the Commonwealth, however, Spain doesn't have any treaties with anybody. So that's gonna move the marker 1 hex towards the Commonwealth, which is off camera right there. Commonwealth is right here. So that Commonwealth's kind of happy with that. And we got that guarantee on the Iraq to maybe stop the Soviets from expanding too much in the Middle East. So the last thing the Commonwealth needs to do is they need to roll to see if they end the political phase. Now there's been 2 options played, so there's going to be a -2 to the die. And not with that. Roll the 7, so we will continue down to France. Let's go see what the French want to do. I already know what the French want to do. They have to do this every single year. The French are going to hold their election. So they will use IPO 10, government falls, election called, and it'll cost them 1 money. There's no U.S. entry, there's nothing, no minor effects, but the French do get to activate a minor. I believe they do, yes they do. So, who are the French going to activate? There really is not a lot of good options anyways. Alright, I gotta take a look at this. I'll be back in a... The French have decided that they're going to activate Portugal. And this is going to be another example of being proactive and preventing the fascists from building up any influence there. Even though it's full of a bunch of 1s, there's also an Italian 2 there. So the French, in cooperation with the Commonwealth, they all, each ideology will discuss things amongst themselves, decided that they just want to clear everything out of Portugal. So we'll grab the markers. You have to remember Portugal has a treaty with the Commonwealth. An alliance, rather. I keep calling them treaties, but they're really alliance. Come over here. Let's see what we got. We got 1 Japanese, 1 Commonwealth, 2 Italian, 1 German, and a -1 Soviet. So all the 1s are not going to do anything. So we'll just get rid of them. The 1 German, the 1 Commonwealth, and the 1 Japanese. We have 2 Italian here. Now here's Portugal. It's right here. You can see that the marker originally started down here. CW has a treaty, has an alliance with the Commonwealth. So in order to move back towards Italy, it'll cost 2 for the hex and an additional point, because Portugal will be moving away from a major power that it's has an alliance with. So it would actually cost 3 points. So those 2 points won't do anything. The French are done. They did their election. Let's see if they end the political phase. Make the Italians really happy. And yes, they have indeed ended the political phase. So Italy will get bonus bid points for our next turn. And we will move on to the initiative roll, the weather roll, and I will show you reinforcements before we actually start the first impulse. But before I do that, we still have to eliminate a Chinese infantry unit for the German political option that was played. Now this is really bad for the Chinese. I mean, you can't take a militia. So they basically have this infantry unit here and this infantry unit here. I think the Chinese line is basically going to fall apart this turn. Unless the weather really, really, really gets super bad. Oh boy. It has to be an infantry corps, I believe. They better hope they win initiative. We're going to take this guy. I mean, he's out on the wing here. If I eliminated this one, that would be catastrophic. The Japanese would just come pouring through if they win initiative. So this 4-3 will be the Chinese unit that's eliminated. We'll just put that up there for now. That doesn't even get cadreed. Alright, so I'll be back with the initiative and the weather roll. Okay, the Democrats are really happy about the initiative roll. It came out as a 2 for the fascists, modified to a 4, or modified to a 3 rather. The communists rolled a 9, modified to an 11, and the Democrats rolled a 6, modified to a 5. So the communists won initiative, and they decided to go last. The Democrats beat the fascists, so they're going to go first, and the fascists are going to be stuck in the middle. They're very happy about that because now China can actually do something before the Japanese move. The weather roll was a 6, which is rain in the Arctic and rain in North Monsoon, clear everywhere else, and the impulse marker will be moving up 2. Let's go take a look at reinforcements for September, October. Come up with a plan better than this, I think. Alright, sort of, kind of. Alright, so we have a slew of Chinese units coming in. Good thing. We have a Communist Infantry Army, a Nationalist Infantry Army, a Nationalist Garrison Division, a Nationalist Militia, and a Communist Militia. We have for Japan a militia unit. We have a territorial for the Commonwealth. Oh, the French get an HQ. That is Predelan, a decent headquarters unit. The Japanese are also getting a Special Naval Landing Force Corps. We got 1, 2, 3 pilots that I'll distribute. They'll probably all just go on the track. I don't think there are any aircraft that are worth putting on the board right now. We have a French convoy point, a Commonwealth convoy point. Where are you? I'll put you on the board right now. Okay, they don't have anything that will be able to get anywhere. So we have some naval vessels. We have a heavy cruiser for the Soviets. We have a tanker point for the Commonwealth. We have a carrier for the Commonwealth. That'll probably go in the home fleet. That's the Ark Royal. That's a pretty good carrier. We have the German battleship Scharnhorst. We have the American carrier Enterprise going on the board. And we have the French battleship Strasbourg going on the board. So I will get the reinforcements deployed. I have to make adjustments to the London Naval Treaty ratios. And I will come right back with the first impulse. Before we go any further, what I want to do is go over U.S. entry values right now. And I also want to go over the London Naval Treaty ratios right now. So what I've been doing is I've been keeping track of U.S. entry. There's this printout I got from Board Game Geek. Alright, I've used this a couple times already. Eventually I'll get around to printing another one. So every time you hear me mention U.S. entry, I come over here and record it underneath the major powers column here. And what happens is that these are totaled and plugged into a formula up here. For the fascists, it's the target major powers U.S. entry plus half all other fascists minus U.S. minus half of all other major powers. Basically, all I'm going to really do is keep track of the fascists, though there are U.S. entry values for both the democracies and for the communists. If I think the communists are getting close to being relevant as far as U.S. entry goes, I'll calculate that. But at this point, it's not even close. You see, the communists are at 25 right now, and then you plug it in. Yeah, they're not going to be anywhere as close to anything. All right, so here are the formulas for the U.S. entry for the three fascist powers. This is before this turn started. So Germany was at 13. The other two fascists are at 47 divided by 2, which is 23.5. Minus 12 from that. Minus all the other major powers, which is 47. That's divided by 2, which is 23.5. It comes out to a U.S. entry level of 1 for Germany. Do the same thing with the Italians. Comes out to be a minus 1.5. And as you can see, the Japanese totals are actually the highest at 14. But I believe that the first actionable U.S. entry is 35 for Japan. Pretty sure it's close to 35. It might even be a little higher than that. So, as you can tell, it's a long ways before anything's really going to happen with the U.S. at this point. They're very neutral oriented right now anyways. Now, the London Naval Treaty ratios. I originally wrote down the original numbers from this at start up here. I'm keeping track of them. Every time one of these major powers gets a reinforcement, I adjust their total. So the U.S. is times 1 per ship, Soviets times 5, Germany times 4, France times 3, Commonwealth times 1, Italy times 3, and Japan times 2. So far, the ratios have remained the same. They're in the same order right now. But the U.S. is getting close to eclipsing the Soviet Union for being the second lowest. And if they join the London Naval Treaty, then their political effectiveness marker will lose its -1 modifier. So that's something for the U.S. to think about at this point. And these totals are current as of right now. All right, put this aside. And let's take a look at the first impulse for the Democrats. I've placed the reinforcements on the board. Let's see what the Chinese can do. They obviously are not going to attack, and the nationalists are going to take a land action. Oh boy. It's fair weather in this zone at this point. Oh, I forgot to place this. That's going to go there. So I think I would love to get the communists up into this hex. But unfortunately, the communists go go after the fascists, but before the Democrats. And the communists and the nationalists can't stack together right now. So the nationalists are still up the creek, sort of. So I think what they're going to do is they'll move this 3-2 here. Actually, this could have been placed here. I think that's what we will do. We will place that there as a reinforcement. Didn't see that city. This 4-2 will move to this hex, and these 2 units will move to this hex. Well, it is what it is, I guess. Chongqing militia will move into the mountains. This 3-1 garrison unit will move here. The warlord will stay there. This warlord could move here, but I don't think that's a good idea because the Japanese have 2 Marine Corps right now and don't really want to abandon Shanghai. Bad enough as it is. Let's see, what else can they do? This is going to serve as a supply city for the communists now, so it's not as bad as it was last turn. I gotta look up desert. What does a desert cost on this board? For leg, it's 3. 1, 2. The land chow, he's stuck there. I'll move the land chow militia here. Yeah, I don't see any other. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? These guys don't move yet. Sorry. We're only doing nationalists. The Chinese line here is ultra thin. It's probably going to break. I don't really have a lot of hope for them to be able to keep this line intact at this point. Best they can hope for is some really bad weather at this point. Okay, I think that's going to be it for the nationalists. The French got 1 unit to move. Berlin's going to move towards the line. He's good right there next to the Belgian border. And I think that's about it. I don't think the Commonwealth is sending out any ships yet. I don't think they have enough convoy. I'll check that before production, their convoy point totals. But I think that's about it. So let's move on to the fascists. Let's see what the Japanese are going to do. Well, they have to take it combined, obviously. They're probably going to get an attack on this hex, I would assume. There's only 4 points there. You got 11, 12, 22, 24 to 4, 6 to 1. I would say that's probably a pretty good attack. I'm not even going to bother with air power, I don't think. 6 to 1 on the assault. There's going to be a 5 to 1. The assault table here. Well, maybe not. We might need that plus. Might need that plus. I don't think that. I could move this 5-3 out, and it could move Yuzumu in here. That flips him. You know what? Japan's going to take a chance. They're going to take a chance this round. They're feeling good. They're going to do a 5 to a 6 to 1, but actually it bumps down to 5 to 1. Straight up attack. Chang could try to do something here, but he's only a 1 point headquarters. Divided by 4 is 0.25, rounds to 0, so he's not even going to affect it. So it's a waste for him to do anything. 5 to 1. Maybe the Chinese want to take the Blitzkrieg table. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a 6%. There's a 70% chance that at least one of the units will survive if I choose the Blitzkrieg. If I choose the assault table, 40% chance that one of them survives. But there's a much better chance that the Japanese remain all face up on the Blitzkrieg table. I think we're going to go with the assault table. Maybe Japan will roll like garbage for once. All right, 5-1 on the assault table. Oh, that's not a good roll. Japan rolled a 2 on the assault table. So that's a 1-1. And the Japanese units are all turned face down. Ouch. That hurts. That hurts. So they each lose 1. The Chinese will obviously lose the division. And the Japanese will obviously lose the division. So that's going to be the 2 losses. That's not good. That's very good for the Chinese. That's not good for the Japanese. So all these units are turned face down. And the Chinese units remain face up because they didn't lose more than the Japanese. I'll check that. The losses were equal, so I got to check that. But pretty sure they remain face up. All right, that's pretty much going to be the end of the fascist turn. And we will move on to the communists. And that's just right over here. Persia. I'll be back in a second. I just want to check that about the face up, face down thing. All right, the Soviet Union, they're going to take a combined action. They're going to have one attack they're going to do. It's against Tehran. There's 6 points. They have 5, 10, 13, 17, 21, and they'll use ground support. That's 24. 24 to 6 is 4-1. 4-1 on the assault table. They'll use HQ support. That'll give them a +1. So they're guaranteed to take the Axis just if they suffer any losses. Well, they rolled the best result they can. Almost the best. A 9. On 4-1 is asterisk 2S, which takes care of the Persian unit in good order. The HQ is flipped over because we used headquarters support to get the +1. And all units remain face up. So this can go here. I believe mountain on the Pacific board for leg units is 4 movement points. So he can get there. So that is it for the Persians. They are toast. And that is also it for the communist turn. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to roll weather and then do another impulse. Do another impulse. I'll be back in a second. The weather roll was a 3, which is fair weather everywhere. That's good news for the Chinese. They really need this. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to have Chang move here. And I think the communists will come up and occupy this hex. I think that's probably what we're going to do, because that's going to boost up this defenses quite a bit. Quite a bit. That's it for the nationalists. I don't see anything else they can do right at this point. And then let's move on to the fascists. Well, the Japanese aren't quite done yet. They do have their special naval landing forces, and they have 2 of them. So they're going to do a combined action. We're going to send the Kidu Butai out to sea into the 3 box. That's going to 1, 2, 3. That's a 3, yeah. That's okay, I guess. Alright. And we're going to land. We're going to attempt to land right on that resource X right there. So, what does that do for us? That is a notional unit there, which is a 1. It's not a city hex. It's defending in the home country. That's a 2. Is not stacked with a land unit, but is in the zone of control of a friendly unit. That's a 3. And the shore bombardment modifier, we are in the 3 box. But we have one of the units in the 2 box, so that's going to add 1 more. That's going to be a 4. They can trace supply and they're not surprised, so that's a 4. We have 6, 8, 14, we have 16 points total, I think. We're going to send out the 14 to 4. That would be 15 to 4 if he gets through. Alright, because we can get 2 battleships bombarding. So this is full strength and this is half strength. So that's 8 points. That's half strength because he's landing from a transport, not a amphibious unit. So that's a total of 8, I said, and 6. It's 14. This, if this gets through, that'll be 15. So the Chinese are going to try to intercept. I'm going to have a little air battle over here. The Japanese fighter, 2, 3. He has 5 movement points. I don't know if it's rounded up or rounded down. I think it's rounded down in that case. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Alright, so we got 1 bomber against 1 Chinese fighter. It's going to be the +2, -2 column. So the Chinese roll first because they're the intercepting player. I'll have to find some dice. I got some dice right here. Alright, so it's 2 dice. On the +2 column. And they roll, what is that? An 11? +2 column. And 11 is defender clears through any 1 bomber. That's the 11. I can see it right there. There we go. So the bomber will get through, but he also gets a chance to take a pop shot at him. On the -2 column, who knows? Maybe that 1 pea shooter in the front of that bomber will shoot down that fire. No, probably not. Not with a 13. Roll the 13. On the -2 column, 13 is attacker clears through any 1 bomber. Doesn't matter. There are no Chinese bombers. So that's the end of that. And this guy's got to rebase, and I think he's going to rebase. He needs to get far away. Cheng Chow. I don't want him to get overrun. So now we got, that's only 15 to 4. +1. That's still going to be, I messed up my calculation on that one. Sometimes I can't do math. Alright, assault table, 3 to 1. That's not looking good. That's a +1 though. Got a +1 because the notional unit is face down. Well, that's okay. Rolled a 9 on the assault table, 3 to 1. is asterisk 2S, so the notional units are destroyed. One of the two units here remains face up, so I think the 4-4 will be face down. That will remain face up. This is going to go home and be face down. And Japan is pretty happy with that result. They are very happy with that result. That's going to give them a little bit of leeway. That's going to give them some interesting options going forward. All right, it's the end of the fascist impulse. The Italians are doing nothing. The Germans are doing nothing. So we're going to move right into the communist impulse. And I think I'll just stay right here. Move up the impulse marker. And let's see. So this guy, he's going to go here, but he's going to end up flipping over because it's 4 for that hex. That's a nice hex there. I think this will move here. Actually, no, that won't move there. This will move here. There we go. We've got some communist units coming up here, but the problem is the democracy's got the Chinese nationalists got a serious issue here. They got a serious issue. If it wasn't for the fact that half the Japanese army was face down, they would be in serious trouble. That and the fact that these are going to go face down. The Japanese naval units that participated in the amphibious assault. Yep, all right, so I think that's it. Oh, yeah, we're going to start moving the Communist Army back home. We moved 2 units, so I can move 3 more. He's going to move there. He's going to move there. This is a road, unfortunately, which means they're all going to flip over when they move, except the cav. Actually, you know what? I think the cav, I got 3 units I can move, so get carried away here. I think the cav is going to move down to occupy the oil fields. All right, that's it for the communists. Move it up 1. Weather roll is a 1. Fair weather everywhere. The impulse marker moves up 1. So we'll dive right into the democracies. And again, we got serious problems going on here. Yeah, that's bad. I think we just got to give up this area, be honest. I think I'll move him here. That's got to go there. Yeah, that's going to be in danger unless I can rail something there. Well, Chang is here. We have the 3-3 there. Let's start over. We got a rail move. We're going to rail this unit to here. You got a rail line. Maybe I can't. Yeah, I can. It goes down here, comes back around, and ends up there. I could rail it here and then move that there. That's probably a better idea. Alright. Now this guy is going to go here, and this guy's going to go here, and this warlord is going to go here. So we sealed the breach. Sorta, kinda sealed the breach. Sorta. Not looking good for the Chinese. Chinese not looking good right now. Alright, that's it for the democracies. The fascists are up. The Japanese. Oh, I had to pay an oil for that. That's right. For the naval move. So that's going to be 7/10 of an oil for Japan. For that, all that stuff. They're going to take a combine. He's going to move here. He can move here. He can move here. It's going to flip him over. We'll leave him in Tokyo. Not going to hurt anything there, I don't think. Alright. Really isn't a whole lot that the Japanese can do right now. I mean, they could have the Cav unit come out here and occupy this hex. It does break the river line, but he's going to be out of supply. He's not really in danger of being attacked. I think that's what the Japanese will do. That's one land move. The other land move, we're going to take Tsingtao. Remember, the Chinese have attack weakness, so that's 2, 4, 4. No, actually 4, 6, 6 to 4. Yeah, that's like a 3 to 2. Yeah, I don't think they would do that, because if they lost, they would be in really bad shape. So it's not worth it for them. Alright, I think that's going to be about it. All in all, I can't really see. Now, all these units are face down. That's a core size unit. So isn't that. So there's nothing that can move over this hex and get around that. So I'm probably just going to run through the rest of the turn real quick. And then pick up at production. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, production was rather muted this turn. That's probably because most of the major powers don't have any money and they're trying to dig themselves out of debt. Alright, Germany produced 8. Some of the major powers saved oil, some didn't. I'm not going to bother to tell who did what. But anyways, Germany produced 8. They started with 3 and they spent 2. They built a pilot. Okay, the Japanese produced 7, started with 0. They spent 2 convoy points. Italy produced 3, started with 1, spent 1, a convoy point. The USSR produced 3, started with 2, spent 2. They pulled 2 cruisers, light cruisers. I think they're light cruisers. Let me check. No, they're actually heavy cruisers. Pretty cheap heavy cruisers. 2 heavy cruisers out of the construction pool with their second round. That cost them 2. The Commonwealth produced 5, started with 2, spent 2. They built 2 convoy points. France produced 3, started with 1. They spent 2. They also produced the pilot. USA produced 3, started at -1, spent 3. Convoy point and heavy cruiser, the Quincy. That came out of the construction pool. China produced 2, started at -3, and spent 1, a militia unit. I will get these on the circle, and I think we're just going to roll right on into the next turn with starting money. It's probably not going to be a long turn, so it won't be too bad, I don't think. Okay, I guess maybe we won't roll right into the next turn because my device is almost dead. So I will get this turn uploaded and I'll probably do another turn either maybe later tonight or tomorrow sometime and get that uploaded as well. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, please subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. See you next time.